Hi friends, Renee Case here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you today. Today I am back to playing with the Celebratory Sips suite, which includes this Cheers and Sips, it's stamps and dies. And I'm going to show you a little bit of just a little bit of stamping today. I am using a couple of the dies, but out of the suite, I really want to focus on the great designer series paper just to show you what comes with this. There's the paper with all these different types of beverages. There are some flower backgrounds. These watercolor wash backgrounds. I'm going to use some of these today. All of these drinks, all the fruit garnishes, and more flowers. And then when you flip these over, there's the cute orange stripe, there's another secret sea background, more flowers in like Blackberry Bliss, and that's probably Melon Mambo. Another small pattern here, a green stripe, and then pinks. And so just some really fun backgrounds. The cool thing is you can cut out all these individual drinks, these glasses. You can cut out the garnishes. The dies go with a number of the garnishes. I'll show you that. You can use these pretty watercolors. Let me hold up another piece of this. The pretty watercolors to die cut drinks too, except I'm going to use them as a background today, but you can see how the shape is there for cutting those out. So one of the things I want to show is out of all these garnishes, just how quick it is to fussy cut some of these. Now, the leaves here, the triple leaves that look like mint, the lemon slice, the single cherries, the single blackberries, a lot of these have dies. There are dies that go either with the stamps or with these. You can even do, it looks like lavender right here. You can even die cut that. But it's just as easy, and I think I'm going to cut out this orange peel. So I'm going to just snip this loose so I can hold it. And I'm going to put the camera down part way here so you can watch what I'm doing here. It's a very simple way to fussy cut this orange peel and get it. I'm going to get as little white as I can and just cut very, very close to the design. And what's cute about this is then you can even hang it off of a glass once you've got it. You can, because of the zigzag shape to it, you can very easily hang this so it looks like it's partially submerged inside a beverage. It's very cute. So I just did this very fast, and I've got a little bit of white there that I can still trim, but you get the idea how quick it is to die cut these cute pieces. And now when I flip the camera down, what you're going to see when I go all the way down, I've already been die cutting a bunch of stuff. So I've got cherries, I've got different leaves here, I've got the celery. Some of these I fussy cut, some were actually die cut. This is a die cut. So you have lots of little parts and pieces to work with. The other thing that I've done in advance here, let me do this, is I did die cut this tall beverage glass along with the embossing. And what you then get is a really cute glass with a lot of texture on it. So I'm going to use this today, and I'm going to use this as a background. I'm going to mat it. So I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss. I'm playing off on purples and pinks and oranges and pairing this with peach pie. I actually cut this out of Timid Tiger, so you're just seeing some different shapes here. The other thing, these were fussy cut out of the other sheet of designer paper, so you get an idea for all the fun beverages, and some don't have any additional decoration on it, so then you can add, you can add what you want, you can stamp it, you could put fruit in there, you can do whatever. So there's just a lot of options and a lot of variations that you can make with this. So let me get to my card making. I want to do just a little bit of stamping inside for my base. Let me clear a spot here. Inside my base, I'm going to stamp a glass, the shorter glass, off at an angle. and then do a little bit of decorating on it. So I'm just doing a little bit of simple stamping right here. I'm then going to put a strawberry. I'm going to stamp it instead of using a cherry or even a strawberry there. I'm just going to stamp a strawberry in strawberry slush, and it's actually going to be toward the bottom of this glass. Now, the other thing I want to do is I'm going to transfer a little ink here and just do a little bit of watercoloring, basically, but use my Wink of Stella so that now I'm going to get this pretty, hopefully, a pale pink wash for my beverage. And it's going to have that little bit of shimmer to it because I have the Wink of Stella in there. And I'm going to go darker for the berry itself. Give it a little bit of pop here. And like I said, it is going to have the shimmer coming from the Wink of Stella. So let me just fill this in, the paler pink. The strawberry slush on strawberries looks pretty cute, doesn't it? Looks kind of yummy. So I am a little bit more on the edges here, just so it looks like I have this filled in. Okay, little quick watercoloring with the Wink of Stella. So that's part of my insert. I'm going to set that ink aside. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow a fun stamp out of the Layered Thoughts because I just love this. So I thought about stamping the same color as my card, but I'm going to go different. I'm going to stamp it in strawberry slush to match the beverage inside the card. And so now this says happy birthday. And I really love this font. It looks like a paintbrush with brush strokes. And that comes out of the Layered Thoughts stamp set. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the front of the card. And my stamping here is the sentiment. I'm using it straight off of here. It's your day, let's celebrate. And they're kind of small. It's a small font. So I want to center it but on the bottom of the card. And I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss, which is a very bold color, but that's also the color here in my paper and kind of in one of the beverages. So I am just mixing it up with a lot of bright colors. So I want it toward the bottom. I want it kind of centered left to right as best as I can. Let's celebrate. It's your day. Fun. So now I should be ready to assemble. I'm putting all my inks aside so I can't put a hand or a wrist or whatever into it. So I'm going to start from the inside, and then I will start layering the front of the card. But I'm going to dot my glue on here. Try not to go too heavy. I don't want it squishing out all over. But I do want the corners to stick down. Now, I mean, it would have been fun. I could have stamped the orange and done this all in Pale Peach or Timid Tiger and done the inside in orange. I'm really making the colors pop here. Okay, so before I start assembling all the drinks, I'm going to do my background. And this is where I've got my purple and my designer paper. So let me glue this to make my background for the beverages. And these are fun. And like I said, you could die cut some of these and to make it look like a beverage like this. And there's the top of your glass with a little bit of additional space for adding your garnish. But I decided I would rather do this die cutting instead. So now I'm using my Stamp and Seal to adhere this. And I'm not going to completely center it because I think that would be too close to my stamped sentiment. So I'm trying to leave space here and above the sentiment. So it's a little bit off center. I like that. That looks good. So now I've got a large tumbler basically, and I've got this drink going here. And I didn't mean to glue that down yet because what I really wanted to do, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was going to put a ribbon on this one, and I think I still can. So I tied a bow and left two ends, and instead of using it this way, I'm going to wrap it. So I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to attach some adhesive to the ends, I'm going to place the bow where I want it to go. I should have done this, obviously, before I glued it down, but that's okay. It is just flexible enough that I can pull it up and wrap it. I want to make sure it's nice and flat and tuck it under there. Yeah. And I think that's solid. So now I've got I can space these over a little bit to allow room for that bow to be over there. So that's my little bit of sparkle and shimmer on this card. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to glue down this drink. And look, it could be a fruit punch. I'm going to put a blackberry in the bottom here. So we'll make it look a little bit like a fruit, or a sangria. That's what we'll call this, a sangria. It can be anything you want it to be. So I'm putting that blackberry down there, and then I'm going to add this little bit of leafy, I guess it could be a mint. Don't even know exactly what that is. And it's okay, don't need to know. We can just make it up as we go. So now I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this larger tumbler off the card base. So let's grab, oh, I'm going to need 5 or 6 at least. So let's just pull some of these off like that. Put one here. I can stagger these a little bit. I think there'll be plenty of support. And this is going to make it pop off the page. One more. And then I'm just going to, since they're already popping off, little thumbnail, put a little dent in there if I need to. But these are coming off very, very easily. So I didn't reach for my take your pick tool. And I'm going to put those in the trash before they get moved somewhere else. Picked up on my hands. Okay, so I've got a cute drink. And because I've now put dimensionals behind there, I can't tuck this in quite as far as I thought I could. So I'm just trimming. There's little, like a swizzle stick or something here that, you know, you could put fruit on and do all sorts of things with. I'm going to attach an umbrella to this. So I just need a little bit of it to show. And I'm going to pop that off that way. And then here's my umbrella. I did stamp that in gray, and then I just colored it with blends. I picked colors that would go with, you know, my card and with all the drinks and glasses. So that's the fun, is you can customize these umbrellas to be any colors that you would like. And then I'm just going to pop that right on there. Now, I could have put it right on top of the glass too, so it looked like, maybe I'll do that. It's right on the edge. If I have enough glue on the other side, it'll hold. And then I am going to add a cute little lemon slice. This could be a lime, it could be an orange, you know, you could make this anything you wanted. So that's going to be on the side of that glass. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just add a little more Wink of Stella. I'm going to make the fruit kind of sparkly. I'm going to make sure I have enough glue on that to hold it down. Make the blackberry sparkly. I'm going to add a little bit to the umbrella. I am going to put, maybe a glue dot would be a good substitute to hold the corner of that umbrella down. So here we go. I'm going to tuck a glue dot under that edge. Yes, and hold it down that way. So I was putting, yes, Wink of Stella on there. And I know we've already got some on there from the watercoloring. So there we go. I simply die cut a bunch of these things. I fussy cut, die cut these. Just a little simple stamping on the inside to have a sentiment. But if I didn't put happy birthday, this could be congratulations, thinking of you. You know, it's any kind of celebration that you would want to have. So really fun card, lots of great colors, a little shimmer on the drinks. I could have put a shimmer in the beverage too. There's a lot of things you can do with this, so very fun. If you like the products and the projects that you're seeing here, let me pull the camera up. If you like the projects and the products, you can find me at Carolina Creative, #Carolina Creative, or I am on the Stampin' Up! Network. It's Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next video.